This will probably be my last speedrun unless Konami releases some DLC missions or there's a new trick that's discovered to speed things up. I have a video showing the underground level glitch, but I haven't so far found any way to use that in speedrun. I thought about doing some time trials I kind of skipped, like some stealth no kills on some missions or no weapons and such, but or going back and redoing some of my early speedruns, which aren't very good now, especially my first one. But some people have done some really great speedruns, much better than mine, and I'd rather just, I'll post a few of them in the description. You guys can check them out. In this mission, you got to take out the first half of this mission. You have to take out the 12 guards on the base. It seems to me that it doesn't really matter how fast you go, because the last 2 guards drive in on Jeep from the eastern gate, and you kind of have to just wait for them. You'll see that, I mean, that pretty much they show up when I finish, but you have room for error, as I'll miss a few shots and stuff. And I take out all the cameras so I can stay in reflex mode throughout the whole mission. And I only use reflex mode once on purpose, and it was for timing. Now here, the guards do a very predictable thing in the way that I take out all the guards in the beginning. They cower behind these same corners and stuff pretty much every time. So I had to shoot the explosive barrel there to get them to poke their heads out, because even if they're, I mean, even if you run right in front of them or shoot near them, they don't lift their heads up, but they will for an explosion. And I wanted to take them out in reflex mode, so that's what I had to do, is blow up the barrel. And here are the last 2 guards. So once you take them out, you have to run to the left of these 2 tanks here, propane or whatever, and that will trigger the helicopter to start coming in. But it takes a few seconds, so I use that time to grab C4 and rocket launcher. So I didn't pick it up at the beginning, because I have time here. And I kind of mess up here. I didn't mean to go behind that barrier. I meant to just run straight down the steps, but I have enough time anyway. And I use my C4 here to take out a bunch of guards. If you don't know how C4 works, you have to run to this striped line, and as soon as it starts saving, you can continue on. But you have to, the helicopter, there's a lot of times where you can't continue this mission unless you run under the helicopter near it, and then that'll trigger the new guards. So, I use the reflex mode here to trigger, or to time when I should detonate the C4. And now I'm a little bit slow here because I've run in this fire hydrant. I usually wait until I get on the H, on the helipad, and detonate 2 of my 4 C4s. That takes out the first set of guards that come out of both doors. I use the rocket launcher to take those guys out because the grenade launcher is a tricky shot. Once I get a checkpoint, I reload that checkpoint to reload my rocket launcher, and also because I practice this level a lot after checkpointing, and it's just, I'm used to what the guards and everything do. So as you'll see here, I take out the helicopter with 3 shots of 1 go, and then I immediately detonate my last 2 C4. If you don't know how C4 works, you plant 4 of them in a row, and then when you detonate them, it takes them out in the order that you planted them. So I planted 4, and I clicked 2 of them, took out the first 2 at the beginning, and then I took out the last 2. Now, there's kind of a glitch here, as I planted the C4 on the barrel, but the barrel didn't blow up. I messed up here. I hit reload after I killed those last guys, and I wanted to sprint, but you know, when you reload, you can't sprint, so I tried to switch weapons, and I panicked and hit the dive button, so that cost me a couple seconds there. But, yeah, I planted C4 on the explosive barrel, but it didn't blow up when I detonated my C4. On those last set of guards there, the last 2 or 3 sets of guards that come out that door after you take out the helicopter the first time, if you don't take them out of the helicopter, come back a second time. But those guards, they spawn inside the door sometimes, but sometimes they'll spawn outside the door, and sometimes they don't all spawn at the same time, where some of them will spawn inside the door and some of them will spawn just outside the door. And I think my C4 glitched a little bit, it didn't blow up the barrel. Some of the guys spawned earlier outside the door or something, so I didn't take them all out with my C4, which, I mean, that's kind of why I had also planted my 4th C4, like, a little bit away from the door because I knew those guys run back there, and I was hoping my 4th C4 would get them. It didn't do anything. So I had to go into reflex, not on purpose, but they saw me. I went into reflex and I took them out. And that cost me a few seconds, but it worked out anyway, I guess. So there you go. First on the Xbox One leaderboards by about 27 seconds.